Hello and welcome to our English language lessons. This is English language level upper basic for upper basic. Today we are going to talk about idioms or idiomatic expressions. Okay, idioms or idiomatic expressions. I am sure you must have heard about idioms many times. Okay, and we are going to talk about it right now, and we will see how important idioms are in our expressions, okay, in our writing, and how do we use idioms, okay, and how they are formed. All right. So when we ask what an idiom is, what is an idiomatic expression? An idiom, or also called idiomatic expression, is an expression that has a figurative meaning. This meaning is different from the literal meaning of the idiom's individual words or elements. Now, when you use idioms, idioms have figurative meanings. That is, their meanings are not obvious. You don't just interpret an idiom based on the meaning of the individual words that makes up the idiom. Okay? Rather, they have to be seen collectively and interpreted in that form. Okay? Now, in other words, idioms don't mean exactly what the words say. The words that form the idiom have their own meanings, but when they are put together, they give us another meaning. That is the figurative meaning of the idiom. Okay? That is, they have, as in the definition, they have, however, hidden meanings. They have hidden meanings, and those meanings need to be understood. Now, look at the example, kick the bucket, okay? Kick the bucket, okay? This is the first example we have, kick the bucket. We can also have spill the beans. Okay, these are two idioms, but look at them very closely. Okay, now kick the bucket. We all know what kick means. Okay, what kick means, we know that, and a bucket is an object, but they have two different meanings. Okay, kick is to make an action. Okay, using your leg, and bucket means a container. But when kick the bucket is mentioned, it has a totally different meaning from the meaning of the individual words like kick and the bucket. Okay? Now, likewise, spill the beans. Okay? Spill the beans also has its figurative meaning, which is different from the meaning of the individual words that makes up this idiom. Now, the meaning of these expressions are different from the literal meaning or definition of words of which they are made. Now, let's look at the meaning of these two idioms. Now, their meanings are, however, used figuratively in this form. Look at to kick the bucket means to die. Okay, when you say Lamin's grandfather kicked the bucket last night, it means Lamin's grandfather died or passed away last night. Now, to spill the beans means to tell people secret information. Okay, to tell people secret information. So you can see that these idioms have a totally different meaning from the individual words that makes up the idiom. Okay, good. Now, here are some examples of idiomatic expressions that we use almost all the time. Now, look at example 1. The meeting was held behind closed doors. Now, behind closed doors is an idiom. Okay, good. It means the meeting was held in private. Now, instead of saying the meeting was held in private, okay, the speaker or the writer here wants or chooses to use an idiom. Okay, the reason for using this is to make your writing more interesting. Okay, to make your writing more interesting, so that your reader will see your expression in a different form. Okay, different form different from the ordinary way of just expressing what you mean, okay? So the meeting was held behind closed doors. Good. Number 2, Mike was commended for his attitude of always calling a spade a spade. All right? This is also a common idiom, to call a spade a spade. It means to be truthful. He was commended for being truthful. Number 3, he ordered our agreement be put in black and white. Now, if something is said and is now put in black and white, it means it's written down, okay? You put in black and white means to write down something. Our department received the lion's share of the budget, okay? The lion's share is the idiomatic expression, and it means the largest share, okay? Now, he was not given the job because he was considered underaged. If you are underaged, it means he was young, okay? It means he was young, underaged. Now, instead of expressing it using ordinary expression, just saying he was not given the job because he was young, the writer chooses to use an idiom saying he was underaged. And that expression is more interesting, okay, than just saying he was young, okay? Now, look at some more idioms. We have the 2 women were engaged in a war of words, okay? In a war of words. War of words means an argument, okay? Argument between two people or group of people. Number 7, he decided to stick to his guns, no matter how hard we tried to convince him, okay? So if you stick to your guns, it means you refuse to change your belief or your viewpoint or point of view, okay? Number 8, nobody is above the law, okay? It means everybody is equal before the law, all right? The law, nobody is exempted, okay, from the law. That applies to everyone else. Number 9, the criminal has been behind bars for many years. So if you are behind the bars, or if someone is behind bars, it means that person is in jail or in prison. Number 10, after he lost his job, he was like a fish out of water, okay? Fine. Now, from that context, okay, if a fish is out of water, the fish is helpless, okay? Is living an uncomfortable life, or is feeling uncomfortable. So after he lost his job, he was like a fish out of water. So it means to feel uncomfortable in a situation. Now, here are some more idioms and their meanings, okay, which we would like to go through very quickly. At the drop of a hat, okay, if something happens, or if something is done at the drop of a hat, it means it is done without any hesitation, or it is done instantly, okay? Back to the drawing board. You always go back to the drawing board. It means to start all over after an attempt failed, okay? All right, so we always hear this particular idiom, like in most cases in sports, okay? If the team loses the game or the team was defeated, then you often hear the coach give excuses and say, we'll go back to the drawing board, okay? So it means to start all over again, all right? Ball in your court, if you have the ball is in your court, it means it is up to you to make the next decision or step. Backing up the wrong tree, accusing the wrong person, okay? If you are backing a wrong tree, it means you are accusing the wrong person. Beat around the bush. All right, in most cases, if you are explaining something, okay, or you are asked to explain something, you don't go directly to the point. That means you are beating around the bush, okay? Practically, you are avoiding the main topic, okay? Now, hit the nail on the head is the opposite, okay, of beating around the bush. That means do or say something exactly right. Another idiom is kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That means to accomplish 2 different things at the same time. At the same time. Now, if something costs an arm and a leg, it means it is very expensive. Cry over spilled milk. Okay, that means to complain about a loss from the past. Okay, if something is if something happens to you, you can no longer undo it, then complaining about it is just like crying over spilled milk. Once in a blue moon means rarely, it happens, something that happens rarely. If two people see eye to eye, it means they agree on something, okay? Tests of your own medicine. If you are given a test of your own medicine, it means something happens to you or is done to you that you have done to someone else, okay? In most cases, it is something bad, okay? Then you are given a test of your own medicine. That means what you usually do to others is also done to you. To hear something straight from the horse's mouth, it means to hear something from the authoritative source, okay? From the original source. Okay, to have too much on one's plate, right? To be very busy, okay? To be too busy. If you have too much on your plate, it means you are very busy. To sweep something under the rug or sometimes under the carpet, it means to hide something because it is embarrassing. Okay, if you brush a topic or you sweep it under the carpet, you don't want to talk about it. You just want to hide it, okay, because it is embarrassing. Across the board, okay, pertaining to all categories of things, apples and oranges, set of a comparison of items that are not comparable, okay, that are not comparable. Beat or flog a dead horse, it means to waste one's energy, okay? If you want to waste one's energy, okay? That means if you are engaged into something that will not yield any good result, that means you are beating or flogging a dead horse. Put the cart before the horse, to put things in the wrong order, okay? To put things in the wrong order. All right, so that was it. So here comes an activity. That is activity 1. So choose the appropriate word from the list below to complete the meaning of the idiom. Now we have words like use, pie, music, rags, ocean, and shoulder. So in these sentences, the idiom, one word from the idiom is removed. So we are to fix, or you are to fix the right word in the space in each of the sentences. Or look at number 1. All these promises these politicians make are just dust in the sky. Okay, so we are to choose either use, pie, music, rags, ocean, shoulder to fill that space. The small amount of money donated is just a drop in the dust compared to the large sum of money needed. Okay? Number 3, I had to face the dust by myself, although I was not the only one responsible for the problem. Okay? They had a dispute yesterday. That is why she gave him the cold dash. Okay? He has been successful in his life. He went from dash to riches. Number 6, he spends his time drinking and watching TV. He is no dash to man or beast. Okay? So we are to the right word that goes with the idiom used in the statement. Now look at the answers. After doing the activity, you compare your answers with the answers given here. Okay? Now, number 1 says, all these promises politicians made are just pie in the sky. Okay? It means something that is not yet here. Okay? They are just empty promises. Number 2, the small amount of money donated is just a drop in the ocean compared to the large sum of money needed. So a drop in the ocean means it is very, very little. Okay? Very, very small. I had to face the music. To face the music means to be in trouble. Okay? To be in trouble or to face the punishment all by myself, although I was not the only one responsible for the problem. And number 4, they had a dispute yesterday. That is why she gave him the cold shoulder. If you give someone a cold shoulder, it means you ignore them. Okay? He has been successful in his life. He went from rags to riches. Okay? If someone goes from rags to riches, it means he or she has been very, very, very poor, or he has been living uncomfortably for so many years. Then he rises to become rich eventually. Okay? So that is from rags to riches. He spends his time drinking and watching TV. He is no use to man or beasts. Okay? It means somebody useless. Okay? Is useless. Now here comes another activity. Now this one is matching. You are to match the idiom with its appropriate meaning. Okay? So this, we have the table, you have idiom and meaning, but the meanings are mixed up. Okay? They are not, they do not correspond to their right idiom. So you have to arrange them correctly. Okay? Good. So after doing them, you will compare them with the corrections here. Now you have roof over your head, it means a place to live. Okay? If somebody has a roof over his head, it means he has a place to live. But if he doesn't have that, then they say he has no roof over his head. Okay? That is an idiom. Hit the ceiling. Okay? Let me put in an example. When I told Dad that I lost the car keys, he hit the ceiling. It means to become very angry and start shouting. Add fuel to fire or add fuel to flames. Add fuel to fire or add fuel to flames. It means to make a bad situation worse. Okay? If a situation is already bad and you make it worse, it means you are adding fuel to fire or adding fuel to flames. Castles in the air. Okay? Means plans that are unlikely to happen. Okay? We know people dream. Some people have big dreams. Okay? You dream big. But sometimes some of those dreams are just like castles in the air. Plans that are unlikely to happen. Now, raise eyebrow. If something happens and many people raise their eyebrows, it means they become surprised or they disapprove of it. Okay? They do not approve of that particular thing. So that's why they raise their eyebrows. So if, instead of saying, when he was selected as the leader, many people were surprised. So you can use that figuratively by saying, when he was selected as the leader of the institution, many people raised their eyebrows. That is more effective and more interesting than just merely saying many people were surprised or many people disapprove of that selection. Okay, so thank you for watching.